because I didn't call like last weekend. Yeah. Cool.
Yes,
Gotcha.
it goes in cycles like that. On some days there's no calls at all, and today
Uh-huh.
the first call we were on, it lasted 2 hours, and it had three students on. So you're the fourth student to call today.
Cool. All right. Wow. Good timing. Yeah, so let me jump like straight into it.
All
So
right.
this week was busy. It still is busy. We're not in the clear yet. We're trying to get stuff done for an August software release. So there's a
Oh, okay. You're talking about work as opposed to moving house.
yeah. So it's been like production release tomorrow and then a production release on Monday. So things are like that. Um, but that's the work. So Dhamma wise, like I said in the message, it's actually that refresher on Bhikkhu Buddhasa's like translation on dependent arising. Yeah, I felt that was pretty helpful because it basically it's basically putting another emphasis on what we've been doing, right? Watch the feelings, see how it turns from feelings I want or don't want, and then I need or don't need. Like then you kind of feel like it, like, and also the fact that it's not really the thing; it's how you feel about the thing. That is the question here. So this whole week is basically an exercise in that, and I think it's going. Um, so the formal practice took a hit. 3-4 days of basically no formal practice, but today I was able to get around 25 minute, like a 25-minute sit in because the formal practice is important. That's why it's called the formal practice because I kind of it's important to just keep it going. So like you said that so that the informal practice doesn't I guess like dry up so to speak.
Right.
Uh,
They will affect each other. They do. You can't do. In fact, you can't do a really strong all the time daily practice if you don't have that quiet time to really
exactly.
pay attention to what the development of the factors.
Right. And then pretty much, yeah, there's for the past, I mean, 1 or 2 weeks, I mean, ever since the chess game was over, I've actually had this strong sense of, yes, it's a stronger sense of, I guess, confidence. You could say, I guess you could say it's confidence. It feels like, confidence and responsibility that, yes, I am, well, I am in control of the mind, right? Like you can actually control your feelings, and it's up to you to be the one to practice with right effort when the time comes. Like when you do get a feeling, yes, you should like what the text said. Yes, you should apply right mindfulness to that feeling so that you ensure that it does not go down that whole chain of eventually leading to suffering. So for me, that's basically what I've been emphasizing for the past week and a half, and I think it's pretty good.
Right. That's good, Willie. That's really, really good. Um, you're just showing me the example of when the students begin to put things together.
Mhm.
In the beginning, Anapanasati is quite complicated, and the
Mhm.
Buddha Dhamma is really quite complicated in the beginning for the students. But eventually, it becomes all together. And now that you've gotten your practice kind of unified, it's
Yeah.
got that benefit. And that's great that you're telling me that. I get a lot of joy when I
Gotcha.
talk to students that have that success.
Gotcha. And then yeah, to follow up from the chat log from last time. So like the deeper stages of anapanasati, like are there like more details that like I remember you said like yeah just call and follow the dancing ball right like follow the bouncing ball. So yeah, it's like are there certain stages that we should pay more attention to or to like or just to get like a deeper understanding of the whole process. Uh,
Yes, exactly. And not only that, but they change in time.
I see.
so that everything begins to fit together. So you can think of it like this: there is some skills that need to be developed right away,
Mhm.
and that then those skills will be the foundation for another set of skills that also need to be developed.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first skill that we really need to be developed, the skill of sati, to keep remembering, to
Mhm.
keep coming back and coming back and coming back.
Mhm.
Because otherwise, if we don't remember, then the mind is just going to go back into its old habits and remain there.
Mhm.
So the development of the skill of keep remembering, to come back to the here now, to remember to come back and do the practice, to remember to come back with right attitude, to remember to come back with joy, to
Mhm.
remember to gladden the mind. Okay, so
Mhm.
always remember, 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 remember. This is the very first skill.
Mhm.
But then the next set of skills that need to be developed is the skills that have to do with the joy, the gladdening the mind, the taking the win, becoming the lion,
Mhm.
feeling really good with the way you talked with your dad is that emperor. Become that emperor. You're in charge of this.
Right. Right.
Okay, so that's that point when we are doing the piti, or step 5 of Anapanasati, that is so missing in most people's practice.
Mhm.
That quality of the feeling of success, the
Right.
feeling of satisfaction.
Mhm.
These are important qualities to keep that you are successful.
Right.
Willie, you're on top of the world. Willie, you're only one of the few lions in New York City.
The Lion King.
Yes, exactly. The lion emperor in this case. That's the kind of quality of feeling that we have. That big, strong, tough lion's roar.
Ah, gotcha. So what comes after that?
Well,
Mhm.
more of that. Here's the point. When we get to a state of satisfaction, all we
Mhm.
need to do is to maintain that state of satisfaction. If we
Gotcha.
get to a state of satisfaction and we want more, that's just lying to ourselves. We're not satisfied with satisfaction. We want a different or a newer satisfaction. Oh no,
Ah.
the quality is getting into that state of satisfaction and then maintaining it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So it's maintenance now. Okay, understood.
Yes, and that's where it's really good, because this is good stuff. Let's keep this going.
I see. I see.
That's
Gotcha.
why we don't want to allow any hindrances to come into the mind. We don't want negative thoughts.
Mhm. Mhm. Gotcha. Yeah, for me now, it seems like in the formal practice, it's not so much negative thoughts as it is sometimes dullness now. It's just that sometimes the mind is tired. And
Make
so
sure you're taking enough deep breath.
I see. More deep breaths.
More
Gotcha.
deep breaths. The mind gets tired because it doesn't have enough oxygen. It looks
Uh,
dull. That in
yeah, 'cause
fact, deep breathing seems to be the antidote for oh so many different illnesses. Robert and I were just talking about that, and it looks like that he and I had picked up the same bug
Mhm.
because we had the same um, symptoms.
Mm,
But we didn't record the call. But in any case, what I was telling him, the way that I got out of it
mhm.
was to do deep breathing.
I
He
see.
said that the way that he got out of it was saying, "Okay, I'm going to force myself to go for a walk, to force myself to eat, to force myself to do this and that," and I didn't. I didn't force myself to do anything except breathe.
I see. Because
Keep
for me,
breathing.
what I see in the formal practice is I will sit, then the mind, is sitting there watching, and then sometimes it will just watch the breath. Then I guess the breath gets shorter and shorter, and like it kind of fades a little bit. But at that point, like I feel like that's when the dullness is setting in. There will be
Right.
like stations like and then the like it kind of gets heavy. I was like, oh no no no, I gotta stand up, or like that's when I kind of know like I had to stand up.
Right. Okay. So in that regard, you can also say, before I stand up, let me take 3, 4 deep breaths to see what changes.
Okay. I gotcha.
It's amazing when you start really working and watching with the breath, how the breath affects the mind and affects the body,
Mm-hmm.
especially when we get to a state where we're not breathing enough. A
Mm-hmm.
really clear example of that is with pneumonia,
Oh, right, right, right.
because the normal breathing that a normal human will do when the lungs has too much moisture in it is it means that he's not getting enough oxygen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why when people go to the hospital with pneumonia, they'll put them on oxygen.
Oh, because they
What they need is to send them to the gym
and have them
and
work.
and let a trainer make them breathe. And that is really, really so true. I figured that out really strongly.
Very strong. I
Because
see.
I had pneumonia. They did hospitalize me. They did give me oxygen. I came back home and it
Uh-huh.
started up again. But the
Oh,
second time I intended, I'm going to breathe my way out of this.
leave your way.
And 24 hours later, I was actually, by breathing, was able to get all of that moisture out of the lungs and I could start to breathe more normally.
Oh wow, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm actually feeling just a little itch in my throat. So yeah, I guess this is more a reminder to keep breathing.
Yes, make sure that you're getting enough air. Make sure that you're breathing enough, because the normal mind's condition is for us to shut down our breathing, especially with the sedentary job that you have.
Right, and
That,
especially since I have bad
right.
posture.
So throughout the day, you should remind yourself to breathe.
Gotcha.
Now, one of the things that people will do is they'll get up and go get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, go have a conversation with somebody, and then they can come back and they work another 10 minutes without feeling bad or tired. But then they sit down, they're not breathing much anymore, and so the mind goes back into that dull place.
Gotcha, gotcha. I
So
see.
for you, because you've got such a highfalutin, powerful position that what Goldman stacks there, what you need to do is to breathe.
Gotta breathe. Yeah. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, speaking of breathing, this is completely tangential, but Um, yes, I also wanted to ask about details of actually coming over to Thailand here. I mentioned, I mean, it must have been like 2, 3 weeks ago because I'm beginning to plan. Probably is October like a good time to actually come over? I'm guessing
Any
that.
time that's convenient for you. Remember, we live in the tropics.
Okay, gotcha,
We
gotcha,
we have three seasons here. We have a wet season, a dry season, and a cold season.
gotcha. And what is October like? Is that cold season?
Um, October is actually possibly the it's still hot, but it hasn't started the main monsoon time yet, which normally starts in November. In
Oh,
fact, some retreats will shut down because it's raining so hard in November, except nowadays, or let us say 2 years ago,
mhm.
that the heaviest rain came in January, and that's the high tourist season.
Oh,
The low tourist season is in the summertime here, but that's not because it's hot in Thailand in the summer. It's
mm,
because it's hot in Europe in the summer.
I see.
And because
That's
it's hot in
a
Europe in the summer, nobody comes to Thailand. They take their vacations in the winter and come here uh, in Thailand. So the three seasons are
Mhm.
uh, dry season, which would be from May till about October.
Mm.
And then November through December would be the heavy rain season that can go into January. And then
Oh.
starting in January is the cool season.
Mhm.
And then normally there's a micro rain about April or so. And then going back into May is when the dry season starts, and the dry season again from May to October. That's how it's been historically, but it's getting screwed up with global warming.
Okay. So
The
yeah.
oceans are not just getting hot at that same cycle; they're getting new cycles. The oceans are getting hotter, and so they have monsoons at strange times.
Okay, got it. So I'll probably maybe come in like yeah, the start of October or something.
Okay,
So
so it has more to do with when you are free to come than it is what weather it is here. Well, October is a really good time, no problem at all.
oh, cool. Okay,
No flooding, for instance.
got it. So
November is normally the flood time.
okay, that's pretty good then. So this is probably, just like a general idea. So, I'm guessing I like fly like wait, so how are the actual directions, like generally speaking? So I go to like which city like should I take the plane to, and then from there I think it's like train or car, I think, or like or ferry.
Actually, there's two major ways of doing it.
Okay,
One is to book a ticket all the way through from New York to Surat Thani.
okay.
You can
Suratani.
do that. That's not the best way to do it, but you can do it that way. An alternate, cheaper way would be to fly to Bangkok,
Mm-hmm.
take a bus to the other airport for the
Mm-hmm.
cheaper flights, and then fly to Surat Thani.
Okay, got it.
But there's the older way, which is actually possibly more, let us say, interesting,
Got
because
it.
the Surat Thani airport is still a long way from here.
Oh
It's
wow.
still hours and hours and hours of van travel followed by a 2 or 3 hour boat ride.
Oh wow. Okay.
So the alternate is to go to fly into Bangkok, take
Mm,
the local transportation to a place that's called Khao San Road. Now, Khao San Road is not just a road anymore; it's a whole section of Bangkok.
I see.
And in that area of Khao San Road, there will be two organizations that have a bus boat combination. One is Raja, and the other one is Lung Praya.
I see.
Either one of them is good.
Okay.
All right, and they're downtown Bangkok, which means that you can easily get from the airport to there by taking the underground
Hmm.
from the airport to central Bangkok, and then take a short taxi ride, which is only going to be $1 or two
Hmm.
from the place where you get off of the train
Hmm.
and go to Khao San Road. And so
Okay.
the only word that you'll have to remember would be to Raja
Hmm.
or Khao San Road, and the driver can get you there.
Oh,
Once you get there, then you would book a ticket with Raja to come right here to wherever you're going. There'd be two ways to possibly. There's three possibilities. One, to come here. Two is to go to Koh Samui to do a retreat at Deepabawan. Or three would be to go directly to Wat Suan Mok.
I see. Okay.
I would recommend, based upon the timing that you're going to come, that you
Hmm.
would come here first, hang
Right.
out with me, and then go over to Koh Samui to do the retreat over there.
I see. Okay. How long is that retreat? Um.
There's one that's 7 days or 10 days. It starts about the 20th and finishes about the 27th or 28th, something like
Oh,
that.
okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah. So I have to plan around. Like, I have to plan because I probably have 3 weeks. But I probably have to go back to visit family for what at least one of those weeks. My mother hasn't told me yet, so I'm guessing my ballpark is I can probably stay in Thailand for maybe 1 to 1.5 weeks. That's probably that's my ballpark there. Yeah.
All right. The ballpark then would say, if let us put it at the level of maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
So about the 16th or 17th of October, you could come here,
I see.
spend a couple of days, and then start the retreat on the 20th over at Deepa
Hmm.
finish that retreat on the 27th.
Hmm. I
And
see.
then you would have the choice of either going directly back to Bangkok and then to fly to New York, or you could come back over here to this island and then go to Bangkok.
Right.
So that
Okay.
would be depending upon how much time that you would have, would be what you would do after the retreat.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Sure. Okay. Can you send me the name of the island or the address like there so that at least I can like look online like in some time, and then I get like a better.
There is so much. There
Uh-huh.
are at least a half a dozen Kopangan Facebook pages.
Gotcha.
There's
Okay.
a spiritual community. There's one that's an anti-spiritual community. There's one that sells stuff. There's one place that does rentals. I mean, this is a big tourist island.
Okay. Gotcha.
And
Okay,
so
gotcha.
there's a lot of stuff on the internet about Kopangan.
Oh,
I'll send you stuff in Skype. Okay, I'll send you a few things.
awesome. So, yeah, I guess like yeah. So I'm about to probably log off for the night. But in the meantime, do you have any like readings or things I should just like check out or reread if I have like free time during like bathroom breaks or lunch or something like that?
Yes, there's a very, very famous book that's been published about the time that you were born, and
Oh,
it's called Willy's Mind. That's the book to.
I gotta admit, you got me good there. I walked right into that one.
Yeah, you've got the pocket edition. You carry it around with you all the time.
Okay, okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
You've
All right,
got enough Dhamma. You don't need any more words to fill your mind. You need to do some stuff to take some of those words out, put them together.
that's so true. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. All right, cool. So I'll see you in like maybe 2, 3 days. Okay.
Excellent, Willy. Thank you. Oh, by
Okay.
the way, how's your dad? How's he going?
Yeah. So he's actually going. He actually told me to say hi because he's a little busy. But yeah, it seems like he. I feel like he's actually doing a really good job in the Dhamma. So to give an example today. So what happened was my brother's, a girlfriend, basically had an incident, basically where, she was waiting for a text on a coworker, and she kind of felt bad because, like, for whatever reason, she was a little, she had to miss the meeting with her coworker, so she kind of felt bad, like, oh, oh, my coworker, didn't text, like, is she mad? And at that point, my dad was like, yeah, yeah, like this, oh, she's feeling bad. Like this is an instance where the demo would be really helpful. And I was like, oh, like really observant. I was like, wow. So he's watching, he's watching. Um, you know, of course there are moments where he still has some, tantrums, but I feel like, it's a good improvement. I was like, wow, it's like, Dhammarato would be pretty stoked to hear that you're watching the feelings both inside and out.
That's so good. I am very pleased. Thank you for introducing us, Willy. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll see you in a couple of 3 days then.
Sure. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Enjoy reading that book.
All right, yeah.
Especially the chapter on feelings.
I know, right? Like, oh my God. All right. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.